Hey guys, my name's Abigail, and today I have filmed a standing horse tutorial for you. This is going to be part one of my beginner horse drawing series, so if you want to learn how I did this, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, let's introduce our tools. Now, what I usually work with at first is just a plain mechanical pencil, nothing fancy. And I also have my favorite eraser, which literally just pops up and down. It's super small. They don't get near as dirty as regular erasers. You can find these anywhere. They're not really hard to find. And then next I have a plain metal sharpener that I use for my shading pencils, and then a regular eraser for the big spots. Okay, now that we have our tools in place, we're just going to start off. I usually do two circles, one for the base of the head and the second for the nose. The one for the base of the head is probably going to be about 2 times bigger than the nose. You're going to make a line just to figure out where the head position is going to be when you connect these two circles. You don't have to make it perfect, we're just going to adjust as we go. Okay, so you make your first circle, and then from the top of that circle, you're going to make a line, and then you're going to curve it down to make the second smaller circle. And then you're going to connect the bottom of the smaller circle to the bottom of the big circle. This is going to act as your jawline. Okay, next we're going to do the neck. So this is essentially the spine of the horse. So we're going to draw the spine from the top of the horse's head down, kind of sloping towards the withers. And then we are going to do the bottom of the neck. So do a gentle curve from the bottom of the jawline down to where the shoulder would be. Now after that, I draw an egg shape, and this is going to be the shoulder of the horse. So after we draw that egg shape, the top of the egg pointing up towards the withers, we're going to continue the spine of the horse slightly down and then curve it back up and around for the butt of the horse, and then we're going to do another line from the bottom of the egg shape towards the back of the horse, and this is the belly. Okay, so you're just going to see me adjusting this shape. You're not going to get it in one go, so just bear that in mind. Don't try to not pick up your pencil the entire time. It's best to do short strokes because it's easier to change the direction of your line doing that. And then after that, I'm taking my trusty eraser and just eliminating the lines that I want to do away with so I don't get confused. Like I said, you can always redraw. You don't have to do this in one go. Your eraser is your best friend. No matter how good you are, you still need an eraser. So I'm erasing my guidelines, and then I'm going to go back in and start just perfecting the shape of the horse and making sure it's how I want it. And after I do that, I'm going to start working on the shape of the horse's head. So personally, I like my horses to have a nice straight nose bone, a really prominent jaw, a pretty big nostril, and pointy chin. I like those thick top lips. I like everything to be even. That's just personally how I prefer my horses' heads to look. It's probably because my own personal horse had a really beautiful face growing up. So because of that, my style evolved to fit him because that was a horse that I was constantly drawing. Okay, so next up is the ears. These are not just straight triangles. Make sure you look at a reference of horse ears and follow it accordingly. Make sure it's in the correct position of the horse that you're drawing. In this particular instant, they're facing forward because that's the direction the horse is facing. He's focused on something that's in front of him. Next, you're going to see me redraw the entire face, probably 4 or 5 times. I was not happy with it. This is totally okay. You can erase your horse as much as you want to. If you ruin your paper, you can trace it on another paper if you liked the body that you drew. Okay, now after I get that face sorted out, the method I use for the legs is kind of a dot and line method. The dots represent the joints or where the bones go in a different direction, and the lines represent the straight part of the bones. So in this instance, I did a dot from the withers to the shoulder, from the shoulder to, I guess, the elbow, from the elbow to the knee, from the knee to the pastern, and then I did a line at kind of, I guess you would say, a 45-degree angle, not 100% 45 degree, but that just represents the angle that I want the pastern to tilt in and where the hoof will come out later. And next, I will just rework the back, rework the haunches, and then after I'm happy, generally with that, I will go in and I will map out the rest of the legs. Now, with the back legs, just like a dog, just like a cat, and us, our front legs and our back legs do not curve at the same angles. Our elbows, I guess, are more like their back legs, and our knees are more like their front legs. So just keep that in mind as you draw. The front legs are more straight and only bend away from the back end of the horse, and it is completely opposite for the back end. So the back end is more curved and only bends away from the front of the horse, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so when I'm mapping out the right back leg, you will see I am propping the hoof up. That's just because he's resting. If you're having trouble figuring out where to put everything, just make sure you look up a reference photo, and there's plenty of pictures that you can look at to really get that right. Now, I wasn't happy with the curve of the back, so I'm just going in and fixing that. And just like I said earlier, use your eraser. Your eraser is your best friend. It is how you will get things exactly how you want them. It's okay to be a perfectionist when you draw. You will rarely get it right the first time. Alright, now next is our face. Both the eyes and the nostrils are essentially teardrop shapes. The eye is more of a teardrop shape just because of the skin and the muscles around the eye making it, cutting off the round circle shape, kind of like our eyes do. Just make sure you look at a reference picture, study your horse's face just so you get these right. And next we're going to work on the muscles of the horse. Make sure that, again, you study a reference photo just so you know the basic proportions, what muscles go where, and just understand that nothing on a horse is straight except for the lower legs. So here we're just getting the basic feel of where the muscles and ligaments and all those different things are. I'm working the chest. The chest is actually not just a straight profile like the rest of the horse. I prefer to show the chest when a horse is sideways just because to me it looks awkward when you don't draw the chest at kind of more of a 3/4 angle, I guess. That's just my personal preference. You can do what you want. You'll see me drawing the legs. Again, just look at a reference photo, and the more you practice, the better you'll get. And after that, just make sure you erase lines to make it more clean so that you can get more of a feel of where everything is. And just do the same on all 4 legs. Make sure you are paying attention to everything and reworking everything at once. Don't just focus on one particular body part. If you're working on one particular body part and you notice something else is wrong, fix that before you forget about it, because you won't think of it later until you're done, and then you realize, oh my goodness, the barrel of the horse is super short. I should have fixed that. I can't now because everything is done and I just have to start over. That is the worst feeling in the world, honestly. Okay, so just continue to do all 4 legs, and we're going to do the mane and tail last. So I tend to do this last because I want to get everything underneath the mane done, because even if I'm going to block the entire neck with mane at the end of the drawing, I still want to get everything anatomically correct, just in case it's going to show through. So the trick to realistic manes and tails is not to draw every single hair. It's really a bad reception out there. Okay, let's pop back to the back legs for a second. So the right back leg is the one that is resting. If you're having trouble with this, please go look at a reference. The hock and every joint is going to be slightly above the left back leg just because it's popped up a little bit on the hoof. Just make sure the angles are realistic. Don't make it too crazy. You don't want his pastern bent in half. That'd be kind of scary. Just rework it. If you're not happy, erase. Do not be afraid to erase. Alright, and after that, we are going to start on the mane and tail. So my mane is flipped to the left side on the upper half and the right side on the bottom half. So I just wanted to show you how to draw both of those sides. So the view where the mane is flipped over and the view where the mane is flipped on the other side.